the Blender Essential tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 12, and here we'll be learning about the mesh normals and the smoothing as well. Okay, so how the mesh actually normally works, what are the lighting which helps this one, and also we'll be learning about smoothing in detail here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So now here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the workspace of the Blender. So basically from here now, if you look closely, let's just zoom in a little bit. Over here, you guys can see now the coloring changes right over here, okay? So on top, they do have a bright color, and here on this particular side, they do have a little bit of dark color, and also here they do have some average color. Okay, so if you guys just give this thing up a rotation, you guys can see the changes in the color. Okay, so if you want to come here and if you want to change this thing up, so in that case what you need to do is you need to come over here on top. Okay, and just beside the options, you guys can click on this particular arrow icon, and from here you guys can see I do have the option for lighting. So I can come here and basically I will be able to choose the colors, or I will be able to choose the shading from here. So you guys can come here and basically use this options, okay, all of this preset, and here you guys can see now it's just giving color all around. Okay, so over here you guys can basically use this one as well. And now if you come here and again let's go to my default one. Okay, so now again over here what I'm going to do is I'll come here and from here let's go to my edit mode. Okay, so I will just click on tab, and over here you guys can see now basically I'm here in the edit mode. So after coming over here, what I need to do is I need to come here on top into the overlays option. Okay, so you guys can come here and over here you guys can see you do have the overlays option from here, and you guys can basically change a lot of things out. Okay, so you guys can come here, maybe change this part. Otherwise let's come here into the mesh edit mode. Okay, so I will come here and from here under normals I will take this face normal display. Okay, so I can come here and from here basically I will be able to increase the size. Let's go with 1. Okay, so if you want to put this one as 1, you guys can come here and you guys will be able to put quite like this. Okay, so if you want to view it from other angles as well, here you guys can see there are a few of these lines, and if I do want to change its position, let's click on G, and now let's keep it right over here into this particular axis. Okay, let's come here, let's just paste this thing up, and now let's just move this thing around and let's just try to see how it actually looks. Okay, so now it is basically exactly here in the center. Okay, so now over here if you want to change the normal, so in that case now again come here, select this sides. Okay, and from here once I do have selected both of these sides, okay, what I can do is I can come here, go to my move tool, and from here if I do want to change it I can come here and basically I will be able to change it quite like this. Okay, so now let's come here, and as you guys can see right over here I can actually work this thing right over here. So you guys can basically change the sides from here. Okay, if you guys can come, you guys can just change it right over here. You guys can click on G and we'll be able to move it around as well. Okay, so come here, select those particular vertices, and now you guys can come here, select this one, and from here if I just select this particular part and if I do want to change it, I will be able to change it from here as well. Okay, so now I will paste it over here. Let's just get a view. Okay, and yeah, this one looks better. And again if I come here and if I want to put different kind of shapes, okay, so in that case now what I need to do is I need to just delete this one. Okay, so I'll just select all this, let's just delete this one, let's click on the vertices. So now again using Shift A, I will come here and I will just create a cube again over here in the center. And now if I come here, let's select this vertex, and from here now let's just delete this one. Okay, so I will just come here and from here I will click on X, and now I will just select the vertices. And over here you guys can see now this blender basically do have the backside view as well. Okay, so over here you guys can see now over here also you guys are able to see inside. Okay, so in most of the games and all you won't see that they do make this backside model as well. Okay, so if you want to view that one, you guys can come here, go to this drop down menu, and from here you guys can select the back face culling. Okay, so you guys can come here, and now if you go into your object mode, let's click on tab, and now let's move it out. And over here now you guys can see right now I only have the front view. Okay, and this side I basically don't have the back view. Okay, so over here I only do have the front view. Okay, if you do want to deactivate this one, you guys can come here and basically turn off the back face culling option again. Okay, so you guys can see now I do have the back face and the front face as well. Okay, so this was about the mesh normals over here. So now over here, instead of choosing this particular cube, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole thing out. Let's get a x-axis view. Okay, so I have just selected this whole thing out, and now I will just delete things. And over here I will click on Shift and A, and from here I will select mesh, and from mesh what I'm going to do is I am going to take ecosphere. Otherwise, instead of that, what I'll do is I'll come here and click on Shift A, and from here you guys can also take UV sphere. Okay, so you guys can come here and select this basic thing out, and now let's go to my edit mode. Okay, so over here under the edit mode, as you guys can see, now it's kind of looking uh, confusing. Okay, but over here also we need to know what is the basically mesh normals. Okay, so for that, to know that if I do want to delete a particular part from here, okay, so for that what I'll do is I'll come over here on top, and from here now let's go to this particular orientation, and now I will just turn this off. Okay, so after turning this off, now I will come here, I will go to this overlays. So now from here I will on the face orientation. Okay, so if I on the face orientation, you guys can see this outside part basically will look or it will have a blue color. Okay, and inside they will have a red color. Okay, so now let's say from here I want to basically select. Okay, so let's come here, let's just select this particular part and let's click on X, and from here I will just delete the vertices. Okay, so now if you want to see over here inside, you guys can see that I do have a red color. Okay, and now as you guys have understood how to make this design, if you want to go to your object mode, let's click on tab again. Okay, so let's come here, let's go to object mode, and over here you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, so now let's come here, let's just delete this thing up as well. Let's come here, let's just delete this thing, and from here now I will again click on Shift A, and from here under mesh I will come here and I will just select this particular monkey. Okay, so from here I will come and I will just turn off the face orientation again, and now you guys can see all the shapes which I was taking from under mesh, those were kind of regular, but this one actually do have a lot of curves and all. Okay, so I will be able to modify all of this according to the way I want. Okay, so for that, now the first thing what I need to do is, so now over here as you guys can see these basic irregular paths over here. Okay, so these are basically different kind of irregular paths, and now if I do want to zoom in, I can basically zoom in from Control plus from my keyboard, and now let's try to change the orientation right over here. You guys can see this is how you guys will be able to select this whole thing out. And now if you want to actually sharpen it, you guys go to object, and from object you guys can go to the shade smooth. Okay, so this one might not look that great, okay, but you guys will be able to do a lot of things down from here. Okay, so here under the shade smooth option, you guys can actually change the number over here. Okay, if you come here, if you click on auto smooth, you guys can come here and basically change the shaping of this particular icon over here as well. So from here also, if I basically want to turn it back again to shade flat, okay, so over here you guys can see I do have shade flat as well. Okay, now again, if I right click and if I want to go to shade smooth, okay, I can come here and basically I will be able to go to the shade smooth option. And after that, you guys can also go to your edit mode using just click on tab. And after that, let's try to select faces. And from here, I will basically select all of these faces. Let's come here and select all of these faces. And now I will go to face. And from here, what I'll do is I will just click on shade smooth. Okay, otherwise, let's come here. And from here, I will just click on shade flat. Okay, so you guys will be able to do it right from here as well. Okay, otherwise, if you want to have the face data and stuff, you guys can also have all of those options. Okay, so I will click on shade smooth. And now over here, if I just try to get a look, okay, so over here this particular part is actually looking quite smooth. Okay, so now again I will just move down the x-axis. Let's come here, let's select all of these faces from here. Okay, so let's come here, let's select this part out as well. And now let's move the x-axis, and I will just come here and take this small parts over here as well. And now what I'll do is I will go to face, and from face I will go to shade smooth. Okay, otherwise you guys can come here and you guys can go to the edge. Okay, and over here if you want to actually use mark sharp, okay, you guys can actually do that. Okay, so come here, let's move the x-axis. You guys can see how smooth this one basically looks. And again, if you just want to go back, you guys can come here and go back quite like this. Okay, so now again, if I right click and from here, if I go back to my object mode, okay, I'll click on the tab option, otherwise I'll come from here. You guys can see basically again I am back over here at the same place. Okay, so this is basically the preview mode. Okay, so now again, if I just right click and if I want to shade auto smooth, I can come here and basically I will be able to choose down the angle from this particular part as well. So if I come here, let's say I will place it right over here. Let's click on tab. Okay, otherwise let's come here to the mode, and from here, let's say if I want to select all of these parts over here with shift. Okay, let's come here, and over here let's take this vertex option, and now I will just click on to this vertex option right over here. Let's select this whole part, come here, let's place it right over here as well. Come here, let's select this one. Okay, so let's try to select all this thing out. Let's come here, let's select this part as well. Okay, so I will come here and I'll just select this whole part over here as well. So now come here, let's just choose this one, this one right over here. Again, I'll select this one right over here. So you guys can basically take your time for doing all of this. Okay, so you guys can come here, and now let's just select this one. And what you can do is, now if you just come here into your edit mode, and from here let's go to the vertex option, and from vertex what you will do is, if you want to smooth vertices, you guys can come here and basically smooth this thing down. And over here you guys can basically choose how you want to do the smoothing, at what angle over here. If you do want to increase it, you guys can come here and increase it accordingly. And now you guys can also select the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis accordingly. So over here you guys can see the changes in this particular side, and over here also if you want to select and do that, you guys can come here and basically do it from the other sides as well. So now if you just click outside, and if you want to go to the object mode, this is how it actually looks. Okay, so now we'll see that how you will be able to select if you have put your object in a wrong angle, okay, or if you don't know where your normals is. So we'll be learning about that. So for that, again, I will click on shift and A, and from here basically I will take a cylinder. Okay, so over here, as you guys can see, now I will just zoom out a little bit. Let's move the x-axis over here, and as I do have this particular cylinder right over here, what I'm going to do is So now what I'll do is I'll just right click, and from here if I want to basically shade smooth, over here you guys can see this doesn't look that great. Okay, if you try to see it from all the other angles, so here this doesn't look that great. So now what you're going to do is from here object mode, you will go into your edit mode. So let's come here and let's go to my edit mode, and let's say I will select some faces. Let's come here, click on faces, let's click on shift for multiple selection. Okay, I'll come here, click on shift, and over here I will select this fourth part. And now what I'll do is I will go to the mesh option, and from mesh option I will click on normals, and afterwards if I flip, you guys can see this one looks really horrible. Okay, so this doesn't look that great, and the shading is not that good. Okay, so now again what you can do is if you want to go back, you guys can come here, click on Ctrl Z. Okay, so you guys can come here and just click on Ctrl Z, and here you guys can see back again at the same workspace. And again if you want to select different kind of faces, you guys can come here and you guys will be able to select these faces. So now over here again if I want to give this one up a rotation, so for that again I'll go to mesh, let's go to normals, and now let's give this one up a flip. And for that if I want to deselect the same thing right over here, again what I'll do is I will just click on Control A. Otherwise what I'll do is I'll come here and I will just select everything up. Okay, so I can come here and basically I will be able to select all things down, and after that let's just move the vertices over here, and let's say I want to just select one particular part. Let's come here, or I do have selected this one. Again go to mesh, and from mesh let's go to normals, and from here you can use the recalculate outside option as well. Okay, so now you guys can see again this one is back at the same place. Okay, so here also if you do have few of it right over selected, and now if you go to the mesh option, let's go to normals, and from here if I click on flip, and now again what I'll do is I will just select all those things up from here, and after that let's come here, let's just select this thing. Otherwise what I'll do is I'll come here, and from here using shift I will select all of it over here. So I will just select all this thing, and now again I will just click on shift and N. Okay, shift N from my keyboard, and here you guys can see it had already recalculated the normal. Okay, so if I want to give inside, I can actually go back to the same position as well. So now make sure that you guys keep on practicing this one, keep on practicing how you'll be able to change from different modes. If I come here to the object mode, right click, go from shade flat to shade smooth. Okay, also about the shade auto smooth. Okay, and also afterwards you guys come here and you guys can actually work with this object option. Like you guys can actually go to the normals option. If you are in edit mode, you guys can come here, and from here go to mesh, and from here go to normals, recalculate inside outside. If you want to give a flip, you guys can actually give a flip over here as well. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter, where we'll be learning more about mesh normals. Okay, and also we'll be learning about different kind of extrude, and also the inset, and also knife. So take care everyone, see you all in the next chapter.